All right, so we do have Acting Assistant Superintendent Alicia Piggott, and she's noticing a little flu after Carnival flu. Good morning and welcome.
Morning, Brother B. One little last lap jump up and I can't make it.
Wow.
I don't know how some people do it.
Okay.
I got the flu.
Oh my God. Well, Cox had the flu, so he can't make it either.
Oh my, well.
So since last week, right?
Oh, course.
So let's hope that Deryck.
Right, let me say good morning to him.
Right.
Hope he gets over it.
And what
soon.
local remedy they say, live?
Bacano bush.
Bacano, yeah, that trumpet bush, yeah.
Yeah, and well, you know, fever grass.
So you're taking all of that?
All of that, Brother B, because I had to get there.
Exactly. All right, let's get straight into it. First of all, before we get, well, it's good, we want to get to the good news, but this one has been, around with this whole murder at Cutler Hall. A young man, of course, give us the update.
Mr. Butcher, Ronald Butcher, who is no stranger to the police.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's well known to the police. He's also, Ronald Allen, also called Butcher, sorry. So around 11:15 p.m. on the 28th of October, he was liming at the Cutler Hall, Four Roads as they call it, when they heard some loud explosions, and on checking, he was on the ground. Nursing gunshot wounds, he was taken to the hospital, and whilst the doctors were dealing with him, he passed away. And let us send condolences to his family and friends. And what I also see in the space, since his death, you're having a lot of, and I want to caution persons, that since he has died, you have persons going to his home and taking things, and there's little squabbles, and and sometimes that would lead to more things, right? And we're asking persons to, take it down a bit, and sometimes you have to sit and chat and work it out. You just can't act like that. All right? Sometimes you may do things that may cause you to be run afoul of the law. So we are asking persons to take it down.
All right. In terms of investigation, any suspects?
Well, no, the police is the homicide department. I always tell you, Brother B, that the homicide department, when you are dealing with a murder, it's not an assault by beating. You have to dot your I's and cross your T's. You have to ensure you have everything before you can lay a charge.
Okay.
So the police is actively investigating this report. We're hoping that we can see success. As you know, in Tobago, the detection rate as it relates to murders, we will have solved, I think it's 5 and 1 less we haven't solved. So, well, this one will make it 2 less. So far, we haven't solved as yet. But the homicide department, in conjunction with other stakeholders, are doing what they have to do.
All right, so 6 murders for the year.
I think it's 6, if I'm correct.
6 or 7, yeah. And of course, we are hoping. In terms of guns and ammunition retrieval, how successful has that been?
I think the last count that Tobago had was 15, 2 being an AR rifle, and I can't remember how much rounds of ammunition. But I always remind persons that the firearm retrieval, many a times girlfriends maybe, because when the police gets information, many a times it's not the person who really handles the firearm. The persons, they may give their friends to keep. They may give their girlfriend to keep because they know the police eyes are on them. All right? And so we always ask persons, if you have the information, if you don't want to give it to the police, you can get rewards for your information by calling 800-TIPS or 555. All right?
Very good. All right, so we got to go into the good news, and then
Well, Brother B, we had several persons going before the court for several offenses: housebreaking and larceny, possession of cocaine, possession of cannabis, and I think I did not tell your producer as usual, and if he taxes me every week, he will make a lot of money because I did not tell him the topic this week, and the topic is we are addressing how we can assist and advise parents who are unable to manage their children. But as I was saying, we have several persons who are going before the court today, and as usual, we have several persons going before the court during the week gone for maintenance. Persons seems not to be paying their maintenance on time, and they are always being arrested. And I mean, they need to remind themselves that they have children out there who have to go to school.
All right, just walk us through this whole question of being arrested for, as we call it, cock tax. All right, so let's talk that. When a young lady decides to carry the boyfriend or the husband to court for child maintenance, she wins the matter. Let's say that the judge finds, I know there were some judges that charged both mother and father, they had to pay. However, it's for the man alone to mind the child. Right, so let's deal with that. What happens when she wins the case? When does the police make the arrest? How it works?
But don't say when she wins the case, right?
Well,
so it's not a case really. Remember, so let us say I have a child with you, and you are not coming up with monies monthly to assist me in bringing up this child, because you know groceries are expensive, and beside that, children have dental care to deal with. They have books and they have recreation. Right. So I go to the court and I go to the registrar, I go to the JP and I apply for maintenance. I want to have, I bring you up, I want to have you pay monies to me for the maintenance of your child. Now, when you go to the court and you will explain your situation, I know that you will have to take with you the child birth certificate and those things. You have to
Who, the woman, the mother?
You would have to carry those things.
The mother?
Yes.
Right. So when does he get? So he gets a warrant to appear in
court? No, not a warrant, a summons.
A summons, sorry.
Right. So eventually, the court will give a date, and the summons will go out to the police to serve the person.
Right.
Right. When the person gets served, remember now you no longer go. They're no longer in-person hearing, right? But if you don't have a device to have an in-person hearing, if you don't have a device to use at your home, you can make your way to the court, to the magistrate court, where they have what's called a VAC center. Right. All right, and you would go, and the same way you would appear on a screen, and the magistrate is going to ask the questions, find out what is happening. If you are the father of the child,
right.
the mother may produce, the mother may produce the birth certificate and so forth.
But that is not proof that is a child.
Yes, I know, but let us see.
Stick up in. Right. And we had to really do this thing proper, because here what? He is asking the question based on what she said. I the man, use the woman, right, all you know each other. You all had intercourse, but I listened to those civil matters on video and so on.
But it's not like that.
They have DNA. Wait, I'm coming to the DNA part, because sometimes fathers are in prison for mine or not minding the child that is not his own.
Right, but
is there any way we could get to that?
Right, once the man tells the court that, listen, he doesn't believe the child is his child, the court would order DNA testing, right? And you could ask the court to come and talk to you, right? And I don't know if it still happens, right? But in the past, I know they would share the cost for the DNA testing. For the testing, right?
So sometimes she would back down and not bother with because the cost of the DNA testing. And let me ask, is there any way to make DNA testing more affordable? Because
remember, I'm the police. You have to talk to the person who are doing DNA testing.
All right, here what I want to ask. When he challenges the judge or the magistrate that, look, sir, we had sex in I see that child there? That child look nothing like me, not my child.
And they have the DNA testing, right? And when the testing comes back, the court will get it.
Good.
And then the court would, and if the test does not belong to the man's child, well then the lady cannot contest anything.
All right. So
but then there are those persons who would have gotten DNA testing long after and would have been paying monies before, and then they have to stop because the child is not theirs.
Okay, fine.
Right? But once the...
shouldn't they get back all the money they spend? Should they give back every cent?
Brother B, you got to talk to the court, right? Talk to the court,
right,
Brother
okay,
B.
okay.
But Brother B, also, you know, you're not saying, you want to, you're leaning on the side, you like back in the bacchanal, eh? So you want to talk about the, not about the testing and so forth.
Right,
but there are very well those times when the gentleman would say, yes, I am the father, and, you know, and then the magistrate will ask, you know, how much he could afford. You know, sometimes let us say the mother challenges the father, then they would ask and summon the pay sheet clerk of the person.
Okay.
Sometimes the men, so the men also do it. So let us say I am paying, you as the man is paying $500 a month, and you think that, let me say you paid about 2 years now, and you think that I am the female, you here I get a big job, and you also let's say you got married and you have other expenses, and you feel that money is too much for you to pay. You can go back to the court and have a review.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And so you'll go back. The court will summon the person, and they will check on it again. And if the magistrate see fit that the person pay less, fine. If the magistrate see fit that the person continue to pay that amount of money, no problem. And also don't feel that the man is the only person who pays. Remember, there are children who fathers would upbring without mothers, and who will put the mothers in court for maintenance also.
Right, okay.
So don't feel it's only the man. Because you like to back and all the thing.
Okay, good. But let me come now to when the arrest is imposed. Right.
Right.
So when, let's say that the fella say, you know, I ain't minding them children. So when does the arrest?
All right. So the court will give you a date that you have to pay by. So, you know, you would have to pay by a certain date every month. Right? Now, if and now it's no, long time you used to go and pay by the police, you used to go and pay by the court. You no longer do that. You go and you purchase vouchers now at, they call it court pay, right? You go at the Playway booths or those places and you pay, right? And you get the vouchers, right? But, so that is what happens now. Now, once the mother realizes the date gone and she doesn't receive any monies, she will go to she will petition the court that, listen, I haven't gotten monies and the date has gone. And then the court will then issue the warrant for the person. It is not, people generally feel that it's the police who issues the warrant for the person. It is not the police. It is the court, right? So when you come to the station, and sometimes people come and they quarrel, so why the police lock up the man? But it's not the police, right?
Okay.
So the person would petition the court, and then the warrant comes out,
and you go
and then you go before the court. There are persons who sometimes would have gone before the court probably 2-3 times, and then have not been paying. And you know, the court gives them time to pay, give you an additional time. But remember, Brother B, some people don't remember that when you go before the court for that period, remember, you have periods still going on, right? So you still remember you have other periods you still have to pay. So eventually, sometimes if the person doesn't want, refuses to pay, and they want to make the simple imprisonment, it's not hard labor. I understand it's simple imprisonment.
Meaning what? You're just in the prison?
Simple imprisonment. Well, I don't know. Probably simple imprisonment. You are probably not working as hard as the person who has been sent.
Until when is that?
Well, it gives you the court will give you the number of weeks. How much weeks? It depends on the amount of money that you have to pay. So let us say your monies went up to 3,000.
Let's say you pay for a year.
Well, right, but
a year is a long time.
A year is a long time, right? But you wouldn't wait for so long for a warrant to come out, right? Remember, unless the lady, the person, the mother of the child or the father of the child, as I told you, anybody could petition the court. But once they realize they're not paying, or if the person feel that they will wait the whole year and they go, and all this money adds up, it's up to you. When the warrants come out, it's up to you to pay the monies, or up to you to spend the simple imprisonment, right? And as I said, it depends on the amount of money, the amount of money to the amount of weeks.
All right. You mentioned something about the pay sheet from the workplace of the gentleman.
Yes. Because sometimes you men are not honest
So
with the amount of money because you want to bacchanality.
As honest as I would have, all right, so I'm delinquent. But here what I'm going to do, I'm going to work out with my workplace that this is the amount I want you to take out from my salary to send directly and give me a receipt to say that this money. Can you work it out with
Well, I think the court does that. I'm not sure, but as I said, you can...
No, instead of you going physically and pay by some payway boot, can you have
I am not sure, Brother B. I'm not, that one I'm not sure.
Okay,
I'm not sure exactly if that is done.
Let's speak to the wicked woman who, the fella minding the child.
But we leave out my topic clean, you know?
No. We want to get child care. There are those who, he didn't marry to she. He gone and he take up some woman there and she find out he had 2 children. And if they're married and they're happy, he had 2 with she too as well. But she just decide, you see that one here? I am going to take, but he minding the child and they just take she on weekend and he child thing and so on, but I just wicked and vindictive. So I go put him in court. When that happens, what happens?
Well,
because it happens, eh?
Yes, but I mean, we know it happens.
Yeah.
But yes, the father has been
minding
the child, and when the child, remember, when the mother goes before the court and the father, the magistrate will ask questions, right? And things will come out. The father may have been keeping his receipts, as
what
as
if
we
he's
young
not keeping
people
receipts?
would say.
If he's
if he's not keeping receipts, Brother B, I am so sorry, but
oh
probably the court. No, Brother B, but I mean, mothers should be honest, because there are fathers out there who go over and beyond for their children. All right. So I mean, and if the father comes out and speaks and explains certain things, I guess the court would understand. But you remember, once a court, and there are persons who sometimes go against the court order. So when a court makes an order too, yes, you want to be nice and you want to do all kind of things, but just remember, all the nice you want to be, make sure you still go and pay that money that the court orders you to pay. Right? Yes, you can do all the nice things otherwise, but just remember to keep the order, because when that order, you breach that order, and the lady goes before the court and signs, because you have some women, let me say you had to pay by the 15th. The morning of the 16th, 8 o'clock this morning, she there petitioning the court to get this document, to make sure the warrant goes out. So you have to, if you go before the court, you have to keep the order of the court. And I think you should petition, you should get the family court to come.
Yeah, to sit down and have a chat.
Have a chat with you.
So the topic is childcare, right? And we dealt with that whole question.
Having parents, we ain't dealt with it at all.
No, let's come down to one of the areas where you were treated.
So so there are some parents who cannot manage their children. Some of us females, we go all about talking about we are single mothers, and if the father was there, we were able to manage the child better and that kind of thing. Sometimes children are facing so much situations that they don't speak out. They may be at school and they may be getting peer pressure. Their peers may be smoking weed and they don't want to smoke weed, but they are being pressured to do it. And eventually they get into it and they don't want to do it, right? They are children who may act out, who have been having issues with another parent. So there may be a breakup in the parent in the home. And we tend to have children this week, they will stay by the father based on that's also an order by the court also, because sometimes we have visiting rights when the parents go before the court, or sometimes we also have where parents would have petitioned the court to have custody. So this week the child may go there, and the child may be abused and by somebody in another home, and the child act out, and you're wondering why the child is behaving this way. So there are several reasons children behave in certain ways, and you as the parent have to get down into finding out what are the issues in able to managing the child. The child may be coming home late from school. The child may be answering you back all of a sudden, the child may be doing well in school, and then all of a sudden the child is just dropping back. So you as the parent have to find innovative ways in getting your child on board, in getting to find out what is happening. Put your child, sit down. Let you be the person that your child come to when your child have issues. Don't let the outside person or the gang leader or somebody, some stranger, tell your child what you're supposed to tell your child.
All right, so that whole question of parents separated, however, this sharing the child on the weekend, custody and so on. What happens, is there any, in the I think you're going to refer me to the child care unit and so on, but how do we treat the trauma that the child goes through during that period of adjustment? Because let's say mommy and daddy fall out. Daddy gone this way. The child really loved the daddy, but the daddy not around. However, they went to court and they settled. I have weekends and maybe one day a week, and I could go by the school and so on. There's a restriction also that the child will know about that really hurts the child more than anybody else. Is there any entity to speak to treat with that?
What could happen, there could be counseling. If the police, if let us say the mother would have brought the child for the police to speak to, and out of the conversation with the child comes out and says certain things, then the police could call outside stakeholders to assist, or you could also recommend to the parent to have the child counseled in the meantime, right? But also within the police service, we have the victim and support unit that we can also tap on, because sometimes there are children whose parents have been murdered, whose parents are in custody, are in jail, and they are acting out because the father is not there, because there are children who are closer to the father than they are to the mother, right? Who looks up to the male figure, right? And then there are also those children, the boy children, who looks up to the mother. So, and sometimes the mother may be in some issue. So the police, on finding out that, not all the time they will be able to assist in the community policing, so they will recommend counseling or request an outside stakeholder to come in to assist.
What about the wicked stepmother, who for some reason
for the whole morning,
wait.
You have to look wicked stepmother.
These are real issues. The woman that he left, and who had the children with his child mother, as you say, but he married somebody else. However, the relationship between the two women are antagonistic. They always have quarrel and quarrel. So when the child goes by daddy and goes back home, he may or she carry home something that daddy gave, and then she questions the child and interrogate the child and intimidate the child and sometimes abuse the child for bringing something that daddy really gave him, and he is saying, or by mistake he might say, Miss S give me, and that is problem. When that child has to, well, it's not transitioning, because in some cases the child is destroyed mentally, psychologically. All that needs to be catered for when it happens to deal with caring for a child. Because at the end of the day, it's the child who feels.
Yes, Brother B, and that's why I said all these things, the child will need counseling. And parents don't understand that at the end of the day, the issue is the child. It's the child who will suffer, not the parent. Sometimes, let us say, you will see sometimes mothers come to the station. They have an order where today, this weekend, they're supposed to have the child, and the father keeps the child, and then there's this argument, and the child, they don't want to hand over the child this weekend, and all sorts of things. I always say it's only the child suffers. And then sometimes, you as the parent, when you're handing over the child, you're not handing over the child with clothes. You find that the parent, whoever the child, when the child going by the daddy, daddy must buy clothes and have it there for the child. You mustn't send the clothes that I buy for the child by daddy, and that kind of thing. That is, I mean, so crazy.
Yeah, boy.
If you love your child, you wouldn't even be thinking about these foolishness, because it's the child at the end of the day, and the child will see. Don't Do what you want. At the end of the day, the child sees what happens between mommy and daddy. And you may think it's, the child not seeing. You may think the child ain't picking up those things, right? And we are, and sometimes out of that kind of behavior, when the child becomes an adult, if the child, I wouldn't even say adult, even before that, right? The child thinks that it is right, to have certain kind of behavior because of what they've been seeing it from parents, right? So we ask parents, don't transcend those things to your child. Keep that between you and the man, or the man. You keep that between you and the woman, right? Don't let that go that way.
Yep.
Right, but we asking parents, when you're talking to your child, listen to the children, listen to what the child is saying, because the child would tell you things that you may not pick up. Children, especially, I always tell parents, when children get home from school or get home from wherever, they like to talk plenty, right? Don't tell them, you're talking too much, shut him out. No. Listen to what the child is saying, because you may miss something. And always use I statements. So whenever you're speaking to the child, speak about I, because the child would get to understand that, listen, mommy would have gone through, or daddy would have gone through the same thing. And and whatever mommy or daddy is saying to me, I would take it I would take it in. That is, it is good over whatever my mother or father is saying to me. So you wouldn't want the child, as I said, to go out there and get it from somebody else. Excellent. You are giving the child your experience.
Excellent.
All right? I wanted to continue to thank the Tobago public for their support. And don't forget, if you see something, say something. And even if you did say something and you didn't get the response you wanted, you can make your way to the Agricultural Development Bank, because people generally love to talk to the senior officers, where the senior officers are located, or you can go to the Sherburne or Scarborough Police Station, where other senior officers are located, and you can air your views. But we thank you for your continued support.
All right, and thank you, Acting and Assistant Superintendent.
Yes, Brother Biani, you had a mouthful this morning, and I hope that persons from the family court, somebody there might be listening, and and if I said anything wrong,
they could come and correct.
They could come and correct it.
We'd love to have that, that conversation from the family court. So thank you again, and all the best to you. All right,
and Brother Bibi, as the family court, I kept saying magistrate. Now it's no longer the magistrate; it's the master.
Okay.
All right.
Very good.
Okay.
All right.